cat.
Good evening and welcome to another night with Posse Presents. We're sitting here enjoying the little break of music there. Always been one of my favorite songs, Atomic Dog. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you don't get the full intro. You should check out the playlist on YouTube. It's there, and you may remember the song, you may not. But like I said, it was always one of my favorites, and I'll tell you, I had no small amount of fretting over what I was going to do with my introduction, and was working out one day and I put in an old school CD and that song came on and I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. So picked out my favorite little portion of it, put it to use with my little montage there, and I'm happy. That's all that matters. You know, they say if mama's not happy, ain't nobody happy, so I'm happy. Anyway, this is kind of like the I Belong in Infirmary edition, because I've been sick all week on top of everything else, and bear with me, I'm still not on my game, but I'm here, I'm trying, I got stuff for you guys, and we'll get through it. I want to start with a happy birthday to somebody who I kind of consider her like a hero, because her and I work behind the scenes a lot on Facebook, and she does a lot of good for the dogs. She stays behind the scenes, and I kind of like run interference, but you know, it is what it is. Donna, you know who you are. Facebook tells me it's your birthday today. I posted on your wall, happy birthday. I appreciate everything that you do, and believe me, you make a difference, and I admire your involvement, and I respect you a lot. Happy birthday, hope it was a great day, and nothing but good things come your way, because good things should come to good people. What's my problem? I must be bad. Anyway, I'm sitting here looking at my friend Speedo, who has his show on at 8 o'clock. Here we have the Saturday night block at Sky 13, and his son Justin at 9. So all of the live shows go on the hour, and we tie up the studio. It's a beautiful thing. And we do it because we can, folks. Anyway. Last week at the beginning of the show, a woman called me about a kitten and a pregnant cat that were out at her son's property. I've not gotten a solution yet, and some people have given me some leads of people to contact. You know, I'm really hoping somebody can direct me or come and step up to the plate. You know, I really haven't been in touch, because I'm not the kind of person who's going to call somebody just to talk about doing something. I want to call and get it done. So if anybody can foster a feral kitten who is friendly and or has a solution for what I'm told is a pregnant feral mama, by all means get in touch with me, because you know, I unfortunately personally don't have the technology. It's easier for me with dogs because I have more leads. Like I said, some people have given me some input, but I'm not going to lie, it's not my strong point. Anyway, I'm going to talk about pounds that are full. And we've got New Britain, New Haven, Yonkers, East Hartford, and Waterbury's always on the edge. Waterbury's had quite a few adoptions. It's been really nice to see them on the roll that they're on. But, you know, they really, really need to maintain a steady level, not to have to kill any dogs there. And speaking of that, there is a dog in New Britain whose name is Buster, and unfortunately, he only has until Monday. And as of my last being nosy on Facebook before I left the house, I didn't see that he was safe. So I'm going to throw it out there for what it's worth. Buster is a beautiful dog. He's got the sweetest face. Yes, he's a pity. But if there's anybody who can offer Buster any kind of a reprieve, and I don't mean an irresponsible reprieve, we've had this discussion, please contact New Britain Animal Shelter like as soon as you can, because of course now they're not there until Monday, but I'm sure if you really use your noodle, you can get through and do something to help him. By the same token, Hartford has another beautiful, beautiful boy named Cooper, and that dog was urgent for today. However, they've given him a reprieve until Monday morning, and if you could see the face on this dog, he would just melt. And they are as well looking for a responsible person to give him a forever home and save his life, because he's only got until Monday morning, and usually that's first thing in the morning. So go to the City of Hartford Animal Shelter page on Facebook, and you can find out more information, see his beautiful picture. Same with poor Cooper and Buster. They only have until Monday morning, and it's heartbreaking. And speaking of heartbreaking, we've got another dog in Waterbury who it's not a good situation. He was on the urgent list. Poor Chipper. On the urgent list once already, and he was adopted. Chipper was one of those dogs who was, just a beautiful, friendly, loving dog who just happened not to get along with other dogs. I mean, it happens. You never know what these dogs have been through. A lot of them, people think they're, going to make them into fighters. They don't socialize them properly, so they don't know how to get along with other dogs. Is that a permanent state of being? One never knows, but you have to respect that when you first get them home, that they really need to be away from other dogs. You can't take them out and put them at risk. So poor Chipper, kind of a victim of an adoption gone wrong. The woman adopted him with the understanding that he needed to be the only dog, and he did have issues with other dogs. She got permission from her landlord to have the dog. However, the landlord had a dog. So guess what happened, folks? There was a scuffle. And because the woman had not yet made use of that voucher and gotten Chipper neutered and any shots, when the landlord tried to get in between the scuffle, you know what I'm going to say, he got bit. So now Chipper is back at the pound, and obviously no longer has a home because he can't go back to where he came from, and in a way you can't blame the landlord so much. But unless someone with absolutely solid dog experience, or a trainer, and or someone with a rescue, who can actually put him through training, can step up and interject, intercede, whatever you want to call it, step up to the plate on Chipper's behalf, he's going to die this week. And it's just really sad. He's on the urgent list. He gets into a home. He gets into a scuffle. He's back in the pound. He was just being him, and now his life is once again on the line, and the poor guy doesn't even know it. I mean, he's really a love, and it's hard to accept the fact that a dog that, has issues, but, I mean, is not like an aggressive towards people kind of dog, is going to be on the line like that. So again, a rescue who can, has a proven track record of being a rescue, not just, anybody saying, yeah, I'm a rescue. An actual rescue who will work with him, or someone who's got, training experience or a proven track record of being able to work with a dog and handle a dog of that nature is his only hope. So that's in Waterbury, and if you can offer any kind of help for Chipper, you can call them at 203-574-6909. He really only has until this week, and it's heartbreaking. He's a beautiful, beautiful boy, and it's just, people ruin these dogs, man. It's not a cute situation when you see the effects afterwards of, how they just are not well adjusted to some situations. There's also another dog in Waterbury, little Brownie, who somebody found and took in, and dog wasn't acting right, and called animal control, and out in the field the dog tested positive for parvo, so went right to the vet and is being treated as we speak. She was not doing really well at first. She was very dehydrated, and her life was truly hanging in the balance. But with everyone's support and prayers and, you know, the wonderful veterinary attention that she was getting, she is rallying. I haven't gotten any official updates in the last couple of days. You know, the weekend's a tough time, but it looks like even though they didn't think she was going to pull through at first, she is likely to make it. And she's just a beautiful little dog. You know, she's probably a chocolate lab mix, and she's gorgeous. She does have, from what I understand, a rescue involved with her, as far as, you know, wanting to take her when she gets released from the vet. But you know, it's heartbreaking. But again, it's just proof positive of the good things that are happening in Waterbury when a parvo dog isn't immediately killed because it has parvo. There was a very disturbing incident in Hartford this week. Thanks to Sherry in Hartford, who is the ACO, this dog had a far better outcome than might have happened if somebody else was involved. But there was actually a dog found shot in Hartford. Now, I mean, you know, I've done a lot of dumb things for fun, but I really can't imagine, like, shooting an animal for fun, you know, what your reason would be for shooting a dog, and just, like, I don't know, I don't get it. But thanks to the fact that Sherry was involved and she got the dog to the vet right away, the dog is recovering and will be fine. But the Hartford police do want to know if anybody has any information. Unfortunately, in a situation like that, there's never going to be anybody who steps forward, because that's just the nature of people, and I don't get that either. But this poor dog didn't deserve this, and the Hartford police are absolutely hoping that you will call with some information, and their number is 860-757-4392. That's 860-757-4392. If you know anything about a dog getting shot in Hartford, give them a call, because they do want to hear about it. Again, I can't imagine. You know, we've all done ridiculous things. I mean, if a dog wanders on your property, you know, it's not like that's the thing to do. If you're not a dog lover and you see one on the street, that's still not a thing to do. I don't know where the state of kindness and compassion is in this world, but it's clearly nowhere where it should be. Interestingly, today there was a protest at a pet store in Wallingford. You know, a lot of these pet stores, folks, they sell puppies, and puppies in pet stores are generally from puppy mills. I mean, no matter what the tags say, no matter what they want to tell you, they are from puppy mills. And for anyone who turns a blind eye to the pictures that they see in the media of, and on Facebook especially, the conditions that these dogs live in, it's real, okay? They are kept in wire cages by the bunches. There's wire floors because, you know, of course, then you don't have to clean, because whatever falls out, and you really don't have to clean it. So their feet get deformed. These dogs don't know what it's like to have a bed, to have a treat, to be in a house, to get bathed, to get groomed. A lot of them are deformed. They're, you know, malnourished, and these are the dogs that are puppies, rather, that are ending up in these pet stores. And it's horrible because there are so many dogs in shelters that die every day, and you've got people who just, again, the almighty dollar involved, trying to make money off the backs of helpless, voiceless animals who truly, truly suffer. You know, take a little time and do a little research. You know, Google puppy mills and see what the images are that come up, and tell me how you can have a clear conscience about anything like that, you know, especially, like I said, when there's so many good dogs out in shelters that just die because they're homeless, and people would rather, you know, go to a store. The old saying is, you know, don't shop, adopt, and that's truly what saves lives, that and spaying and neutering. But I guess this particular store, it came to light, was actually selling puppies that were produced by a backyard breeder of sorts. And, you know, that's even worse. You know, I don't care what you call yourself. You know, you can say you're a kennel, you can say you're a reputable breeder, but if you're supplying your dogs to a store to be sold, I'm sorry, you're scum. You know, you're not a responsible breeder. You're in it for the almighty dollar. And that was part of the concern on the protest today. You know, just by virtue of the fact that, you know, it's just a bad situation, you know. Who knows what, you know, this person may take good care of their dogs, they may not, but, you know, you're breeding them for the wrong purpose. You know, if you're going to breed an animal, it should be for the love of the breed and the betterment of the breed. When Allison was here, we talked about that. You know, you don't just say, oh, you know, this one and this one will make cute babies and let's do it. It's just so irresponsible. And I know I use that word a lot, but I don't know what other word to use. If someone's got one, let me know, because really, I'd like to know what else you would call it. But I guess they had a pretty good turnout. There were pictures on Facebook of some of my little friends there holding up signs out in the green and stuff, and I'll get more feedback on that as we go along. And I know that their hearts were in it, and there was even, from one of the posts that I read, one of the other store owners or managers came out and brought them all water while they were out there. You know, they were supportive. So, you know, it's a movement that I think is a positive one, because there needs to be something done. And I found out, I read something somewhere, like they actually, like in these pet stores, have like children's birthday parties now, like, and they can play with the puppies and stuff. Like, really? Because that's how you want your kids to think about animals, is just playthings in a store. I just, you know, go to someplace else that, you know, they can bounce around in the balls and stuff and call it a day, because I think that's a far better choice than, you know, taking your kids to a place where animals are caged to play. That's like going to the zoo or the circus, and that's another whole thing. But I'm not going to go there. He's laughing at me. Yeah, that's another pet peeve. Anyway, one of the things that I mentioned last week was getting involved in your local pounds. They are very, from my point of view, they're very much in need of everyone's support. You know, I've often said, and I mean it, you know, if you turn your back on the institution because of what they do, and that is kill dogs when they're out of time, you're essentially turning your back on the animals that need you the most. The dogs in the kill shelters need you so much to promote them, to share them, to help find them homes. And you can get involved. If you talk to your local ACO, you can ask them if they need help, what kind of help they need. Do they have a pet finder page? You know, do they need someone to come and take pictures? Some places will be receptive. Again, it's a liability thing. Most of the municipalities don't allow volunteers because it's a liability. They don't allow people in the kennels because it's a liability. But if you have someone who is, you know, willing to work with you, that's absolutely, you know, that's the chance to seize, because you're going to be able to help those dogs. You get these pictures of dogs behind cages and it's dark and you can't see them. That's really not going to help them find homes. The best way to do it is get them out of the cage, take a nice little picture on, you know, the front lawn or something, or even, you know, the parking lot. Something other than the cage where you can't see the dog is so much better. But, you know, a lot of these places, I said last week, don't even have computers. They can't get online. So if you can talk to the ACO may have their hands tied, but you can absolutely get in touch with the police chief and, you know, politely, nicely try to have a conversation. You know, you're not going to get anywhere if you're combative and confrontational. You really, you've got to ask. You can't, there's no other way. You've got to be that better person and know that there's it's not about trying to fight them right off the bat. You know, there's a time and a place for fighting, and there's a time and a place for, you know, doing it right. And if you want to help, you've got to do it right. And that's just the way that goes. But you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't even know that their town or a town near them has a pound. Look it up. Get involved. See what you can do. Because these dogs really, really, really need all the help they can get. And again, as I said, some more than others. Some have a great system in place. Some have no system in place. Some have a system in place that needs improvement. So you can be the change, and you can get involved. And by all means, if you can help in any way, do it. And if they say no, then you know, you could try another time or two, or try someplace else. But you know, you'll find your niche, and you'll find your place to be, and you'll find a way to help, and it'll make a difference. I'm excited about tomorrow because there is the 3rd annual car show. Are you going?
Oh, I love car shows.
Yeah, it's an antique car show in Southington, and it is an event that will help a couple of shelters. One of them, or rescues, whichever way you want to look at it. One of them is Running for Rescues, which we all know that I've worked with in the past, and Jody and Judy have been on the show. But it's kind of exciting. From 10 to 2, the cars will be let in early, and if you've got a car and you want to bring it and show it off, there will be trophies given out. There'll be all kinds of stuff going on there that I think everybody will enjoy. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to try to be there early. We kind of know I'm no good first thing in the morning, but then again, sometimes I'm no good at 7 o'clock at night, but we won't go there. Had a little trouble getting here tonight, but got past that. It's tough when you jump in your car and take off and realize that you don't have enough gas to get where you have to go, and you have to turn around and go back, and you know, it's all part of getting older and losing your mind and being stressed and being sick and whatever. But anyway, come on out to the car show tomorrow. I'll be there. I think that last year there was, I think the first year there was like 35 cars. Last year there was over 100. And, you know, that's exciting to me. A lot of people know me primarily as, you know, the crazy red-headed dog lady. But cars are definitely something that I have always loved. And, you know, I'll give you a little chuckle maybe. But I was born in New York City, you know, learning to walk and talk and all that. One of my very first words was taxi. My mother used to say that, you know, she had everything she could do. If she wasn't holding my hand, I'd run to the curb and hold up my little finger and try to call a cab. So, you know, go figure. It's the New York City car girl, you know, turned into the crazy red-headed dog lady. But it is what it is. Anyway, really quick, I want to say that Timmy in Waterbury is still out there. If you are out and about in Waterbury, he has stayed pretty much provably within a 3-mile radius of where they've been looking for him around Waterville Park, which is, you know, Thomaston Avenue, all the surrounding neighborhoods. There's cameras up and feeding stations, and there's been some sightings. He is a shepherd mix. You know, he looks very shepherdy. He's probably really skinny. As far as anybody knows, he's still got the collar and the leash. But he's still out there, and he's been out there since the end of February. And, you know, it's amazing that these dogs can survive for so long, especially when you factor, you know, the wildlife that's out there. Coyotes and foxes and even bears. I mean, there's been bears in my neighborhood, and that just blows me away. But Bring Timmy Home is the Facebook page if you want to follow the updates. If you think you've seen Timmy, you know, 860-729-8483 is the number to call, and that's 860-729-8483. Even if you're not sure, even if, you know, you second guess yourself, if there's any way as you're driving by, if he's standing still long enough and you can snap a picture, that's a great thing, because that gives a little bit of a location to, you know, where they can look, and that's better than saying, well, he was over here, kind of near this and kind of near that. But, you know, there's definitely the hope that Timmy will still be found, and found alive, because you know, there's people that care, and there's other dogs that are out there that people are still looking for. You know, Andy and Ozzy, my little poster dogs back there, their story still continues. I had hoped long before now. I mean, they've been missing since January. I mean, these dogs have been out there forever, and they're still, you know, sightings and you know, provably alive, and it's just amazing. I know I mentioned a few weeks ago another dog in Waterbury, a German Shepherd named Shade, who was missing, and unfortunately, I don't know, the information pipeline seems to have shut down. I don't know what ever happened with Shade. I don't know if they found her or they didn't find her. There's been really virtually no information coming through. So, you know, I'm hoping for the best there. But without any information, it's really hard for me to report any. Last little piece of news as we get ready to wrap it up, because I think we're coming down to the wire. If you all remember, a few months back, there was a calendar contest, and my baby Mojo made it, and he was declared, and he's all excited over there, Speedo. He was declared Mr. October, because that's when I chose his birthday to be. The calendar is getting more and more ready to be put together. I was asked to condense and rewrite their little stories for each month of dog, and a lot of them were very long and you know, involved, but I pared them down. I turned the last in today, thanks to Jessica for being patient with me, because it's taken me forever, especially with, you know, the firestorm of things that I've been through. But she's been very patient, and finally got the last of the stories done and into her today, and that includes Mojo's, which, you know, of course I'm going through the months, and then I realized, wait, October's missing. I'm like, yeah, dummy, that's yours to write. But anyway, that'll come out soon, and hopefully I can get Jessica on the show with us, and we can talk about the calendar and its mission, because it's not just a calendar, and it's aimed to be able to help rescues in its own way, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about that. But anyway, I'm just waiting for this to wrap up tonight. I think I've talked myself out. You can probably tell I'm all sinusy, and my throat is killing me, and all that. But there's my credits. And I'm going to say peace, love, and dogs, because that's my life. And I thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful